While the news of the American victory in the south of Japan hasn't been received yet, the USS Colorado's battle group has been intercepted by a Japanese fleet that simultaneously has sailed out from port. It looks like the Japanese Navy has been ready and is sending everything they can against us. We're facing two battleships of the Choyo class with a significant amount of 14-inch firepower. We're facing 4 heavy cruisers reportedly of the Azuma class with 10-inch guns, as well as a set of presumably armored cruisers and a small group of destroyers. Given the sheer amount of torpedoes that the Japanese are fielding, this is a serious threat. Unfortunately, we don't have much of a cruiser screen ourselves, but we have Porter, Selfridge and Winslow, each of which is a Porter-class gunboat, and hopefully they can hold their own pretty well against the enemy destroyers and cruisers. As the sun is setting near the Sea of Japan, we've got the destroyers on scouting duty, and trying to find the battleship something to shoot at. I've left the Fresno as a screen, and I think we have just detected the enemy. That is potentially, that looks like one of the Arganos, maybe. So, or could be a bigger one. Either case, we are going to get the battleships opening up. We are going to get the smoke ready, and we're going to drop some torpedoes in their direction. I've got the second battle line a little behind, because this is the Philip, which is a Wicks-class destroyer, which is significantly slower. But I don't think they've spotted us yet. So Winslow has seen, these must be the heavy hitters. So these must be the Japanese battleships. Yeah, looks like. Fair amount of secondaries and lots of firepower on these things, but we'll see how well they do, and we'll see if we can manage to get our torpedoes away. We'll start laying smoke, and once we are, how far are we away? We've lost sight, obviously, because we're now smoking up, but their screens are supposed to be somewhere there, so we'll get the first line to drop and then peel off, and then we'll get the second line to drop as well. They're only making 23 knots because I think the Philip is low on fuel, so she can't run at battle speeds. I might just get her to drop her torpedoes and then disengage, while Porter is going to be going on her own. Okay, we will get torpedoes away against the battleships. It's not a great angle. But let's get the torpedoes out. I have no idea where the screens are. Oh, there are some screens here. We're seeing smoke screens. So Winslow and Selfridge are going to get their torpedoes away. And Philip and Porter are going to target here as well. Are going to smoke up. And we'll drop their torpedoes as soon as they get a good angle. We'll drop from a little further away. Don't necessarily want to risk too much. We've sent the torpedoes out, and now Winslow and Selfridge can disengage. We'll see if we hit anything. Might get a couple lucky torpedo hits. The main battle line is starting to exchange fire. So Mississippi and Colorado are opening up. We'll keep our distance, and they will definitely target whatever that first washer. Yes, there they start opening up. So destroyers definitely need to get out of there, and they're drawing a lot of fire now. Yep, that's That's probably the cruisers. So where's the second destroyer group? They can launch their torpedoes as soon as they have angles. And the main battle group is going to... Yep, first torpedo hit. Nice. A couple more torpedoes coming in. I don't know what we're hitting, but we're hitting something, and I'll take it. And these torpedoes look relatively promising, actually, against that battleship. Okay, that's one torpedo hit. I think the other one was a dud. But we have landed a torpedo on the battleship. She is now turning, so we get the second destroyer group to see if they can intercept, get their torpedoes away. While first group is returning towards the main battle fleet, and probably take a little bit of a detour. And Mississippi and Colorado don't have a target right now, given that first group is still smoking. Both destroyer groups are still laying smoke. But so far I think we haven't spotted any enemy torpedoes. And I am, yeah, the Phillips on low fuel. I am going to detach those two. And I'm going to get the Porter to go in by herself, as well as Philip. And then Philip is going to retreat because she doesn't have the fuel to run flank speed. So far, fire being exchanged, but not an awful lot of hits yet from the heavy hitters, Mississippi and Colorado. They're still getting the range, and have to be obviously careful with destroyers by themselves. But after the torpedo hit, the first battleship is definitely turning out. She might have taken some damage, but we're fighting at long ranges here, so not the greatest chances to hit just yet. And I'm really curious to see what Colorado is going to be able to do with her 16-inch guns, and if she's going to manage to hit anything. She might have to get a little bit closer. Okay, it looks like the Philip has fired her port torpedoes, so we'll get her to turn around, fire starboard as well, and then disengage, and we'll get Porter to unload too, and then drop out for now. Let's get Porter to target the other battleship with her torpedoes. Even if we're not hitting the battleships, we are still going to be hitting something in the screens here, because there's just a lot of activity. Where is I'm not happy with the position of the Fresno. Fresno is low on fuel as well, so she's actually relatively slow too. I might just detach her too, so we'll get Fresno to go in, drop torpedoes from long range, and then disengage. Most of the battle group has been underway across the Pacific for quite a while, so we do want to be careful. Okay, Porter has fired, so I'm going to get Porter to fall in with the other with her sister ships, and Philip has dropped her torpedoes, so we'll get her to loiter, maybe get the second. Nah, she's only doing 23 knots. I think I'm going to get her to retreat, because she doesn't have the capacity to disengage, and Fresno as well is very slow due to lack of fuel. So we are going to have to be a little careful here. We're going to turn out a little and keep engaging at, well, actually stay the course. Porter is falling in, and Philip has launched her torpedoes at extreme range. But I think the battleships are going to have to do the heavy lifting this time around, because they are going to have to get a little closer here. They only do 21 knots, so the problem is I don't know how much fuel Fresno has remaining, and Mississippi and Colorado are going to need to get a little closer to be able to hit anything. But of course we do have to be careful with the enemy destroyers, and especially the heavy cruisers. The heavy cruisers are having a lot of torpedoes, and it looks like the other Japanese battleship is getting ready to engage, but I'm wary of their I am somewhat wary of the group over here. We're gonna drop speed to 19 knots. Oh, another torpedo hit on something. I don't know what we hit. And that torpedo looks relatively promising. Yep, a dart torpedo and another torpedo hit on the enemy battleship. So well done. Well done, destroyer screen. We are gonna get them to link up with the battleships for now. And the Fresno is gonna go in. And I think that was the first 14-inch hit. A couple more torpedo hits. First 14-inch hit from that would have been the Mississippi, because the Colorado is firing 16-inch. But we do have to be careful. We do have to be wary of enemy torpedoes. So we'll close in a little bit more. There's a whole group over there. That battleship has taken some damage. She is flooding, and I'm going to return the destroyers into screening duty. Another torpedo hit somewhere. We'll get Fresno in to target the Mikasa and just launch a bunch of torpedoes. Ideally, I would love to target something else, but I don't really have intelligence on anything else. So Fresno is going to go in. The porters are going to return and try to scout for the battleships. And Mississippi and Colorado are taking a lot of incoming fire, but so far can only target the enemy Mikasa. I think Colorado is struggling with her aim as expected, because she's got the older guns. But we do have to be a little wary of. I'm a little wary of these screens there. So we'll get the destroyers to see if they can figure out what's going down there. While Fresno is going to target Mikasa, and we'll have to be careful not to get too close. So I'm going to start a smoke screen, and she'll get a torpedo solution. 8 kilometers is relatively long, but she's starting to draw fire, so I'm going to switch the torpedoes to aggressive and get the torpedoes away, and then I'm going to get the Fresno out of here because she is low on fuel. Okay. Something's been spotted. I'm not sure. Okay, that's one of the light cruisers. So it's possible that the cruiser line is on this side here. We'll get the destroyers to scout. And the battleships are going to stay the course. We just do have to be careful about enemy torpedoes here. Fresno has launched torpedoes, so we'll get her to hard to port. Actually, no. Keep the turn and then launch the other side, and then we'll get her to disengage as well. Destroyers are going to try and scout more here and see if they can spot some of these cruisers that are smoking up in the screen there. We'll have to get the battleships more engaged here so they can start hammering away with their secondaries. Okay, what else do we have here? These are the dangerous ones. These are the heavy cruisers. So I do want to be careful here. We have smoke screens ready, and we have torpedoes ready, almost. So we'll get the destroyers a little bit closer, and the battleships are going to stay the course. But I am somewhat wary of these heavy cruisers and their torpedo loadout. The Mikasa is relatively brave here, but I obviously can't get much closer. And Mississippi is trying to get her guns on target on the Mikasa. Let's focus both battleships on the Mikasa. Let's see if they can land some hits, and we'll see if the destroyers can scout something here. Where is the Fresno? Fresno has launched all her torpedoes, so I'm going to get her to retreat as well, because she's too valuable. I'm going to just get her to fall in line with the battleships, to be honest. Let's disable, we'll get her to smoke up. She's launched the torpedoes. And Winslow, oh, Selfridge has taken a hit here. Destroyers need to smoke up. And I think Selfridge has lost rudder control, so we're going to get her to detach. She has taken some damage. Okay, good. We've got another torpedo hit. I think this was from the Fresno. And there's a lot out there. So Winslow, target something in the middle. And get the torpedoes away if you can, and then we'll disengage. Selfridge is going to have to deal with the flooding here first. Let's see that Winslow can get her torpedoes away, and then we'll get her to turn back as well. Porter is still hard on the reload, so once Winslow has launched, then we will disengage here. Okay, come on. Get the torpedoes away, Winslow. There we go. Torpedoes away and disengage. So we are getting a little close. And Selfridge looks okay, so she can fall back in with the others. And Porter obviously needs to. Oh, incoming enemy torpedoes. Porter, can you dodge that? I think she can. Is this threatening the battleships? No, that was launched at the destroyers. Okay, Porter, hard over. Ooh, these are fast torpedoes. Oh, that's not looking good. Ooh, it was a dud. Lucky here. Okay, Porter fall in with Winslow. Winslow, turn. And battleships are focusing fire on the Mikasa, which is flooding severely. Fresno is still smoking up, and I think Selfridge can fall in with the destroyers again as well. So we'll get them back on screening duty. So far, no torpedo launches at the battle line, but we do have to be a little careful because the cruisers, I think, are now coming in. Are these the lights or the heavy cruisers? I think these are the heavy cruisers. I'm not sure if these are the Arganos. We'll shift our fire over to the heavy cruisers and speed up again to 21 knots, but we may have to torpedo hits in the group there. We'll see if we can land some hits on that heavy cruiser. I think the Mikasa is not in a great shape, but it's getting a little hot here now. So we'll get the destroyers to fall back and the battleships to open up the distance a little bit. And that, okay, the Choyo is actually, I'm not sure what happened. I think that was a hit actually on the Choyo. The Choyo looks bad. I think she's taken a couple of torpedo hits. Mississippi has taken a hit as well. But I think Choyo is going down. And if Mikasa is going down as well, then that would be a great result. Let's get the destroyers to focus their fire on Mikasa. Maybe they can set a couple of fires. And I need them to turn around and spot again. A couple of partial penetrations there. And Mississippi and Colorado are still trying to target the heavy cruiser, but I think the heavy cruiser is disengaging. So let's finish off the Choyo then. And let's get the destroyers around again. Torpedoes off. Porter herself has taken a hit, and Fresno is still very slow. But I think we've managed to do quite some damage to the heavy hitters here. And the big question is, oh, Mississippi does not look good. Mississippi is taking on a lot of, I'm not sure what happened. Maybe she took a torpedo, but I think we'll detach Mississippi and she is going to retreat. And that means actually that Colorado is going to have to cover her retreat. I'm not sure if she took a torpedo there, but we may have to retreat here. She is taking on a lot of water in the front. Let's see if I can figure out what happened here. And massive Mississippi is on fire. We did get a couple of 16-inch hits here, which have been quite successful. But I'm not sure what happened to the Mississippi, to be honest. So Colorado, if she got hit by gunfire, it looks more like a torpedo hit. So that is a fair amount of water she's taking on there. So let's see if we can disengage here from that. I would love to finish off the Choyo though. So but I think Fresno needs to detach. She's too slow. She needs to retreat. Let's see if we can focus our fire on the disabled Choyo. She's almost down. I think she's gonna sink. Mikasa has recovered somewhat, but Mississippi is still flooding, still trying to get the damage control done. It's risky for the destroyers, but let's see if we can get at least one of their battleships sunk. And then we can, that would be a major success. Like, we don't need the whole group to sink, but that battleship is obviously combat ineffective, but I would love her to go down if we can. And we'll get Colorado to turn around. We get the destroyers to try and set some fires on the Choyo. See if we can finish her off. Mikasa, I'm not so sure about. We might make a run at Mikasa, but the Fresno is as well too slow. She does need to retreat. The most of the Porter and Selfridge still have torpedoes, so we might be able to do another run here, and we'll get Colorado to turn around while the Mississippi does need to retreat. She has taken on too much water in the bow, and we'll get Colorado to turn around. She's still combat effective, and maybe together with the destroyers she can still do a little bit more damage. It looks like the Japanese are getting the flooding under control here on the Choyo. She is more or less dead in the water. She's still sailing ahead here though, but I don't think her guns can depress on target anymore. So we'll see if the destroyers can make something happen here. But it's risky to sail the destroyers in here, but Colorado target the Mikasa actually. I think the destroyers can finish off Choyo because she is almost out. So we will do a torpedo launch against Choyo, and whatever else happens to sail around here, and see if we can. I know that Winslow is out, but Porter still has torpedoes. So let's make a pass. Let's launch some torpedoes. And Colorado is going to see if she can do something about Mikasa. They're trying to smoke up Mikasa, who is firing, I believe, at the destroyers. So Porter has launched torpedoes. Selfridge is damaged. Porter has taken some damage. But the torpedoes should be able to finish off the Choyo, which means Selfridge still has torpedoes. Well, we'll just launch them in the general direction as well, just to make sure. And then there come enemy torpedoes. Yeah, we do need to turn out here. And the big question is, do I want to risk Colorado on her own? Mississippi definitely needs to retreat after whatever happened to her. Do I want to risk I would love to finish off Mikasa, but Colorado is going to need to get closer. We'll get the destroyers to link up with Colorado again, and we will see if the torpedoes manage to finish off the stationary Choyo. Looks like the first spread is actually missing. The second spread is coming in, and I think these torpedoes probably look promising. Yeah, first spread has missed. Might be hitting something else in the rear, but I want to see if the center torpedo here from the second spread might be capable of landing a hit, and that might finish her off. Let's see. And it was a dud torpedo, or they took it out. I think the secondary gunners managed to take it out. Oh, she is one lucky ship. Okay, that means Colorado is on fire and dueling with Mikasa, but she's a little too far away. She is landing some hits, I believe. But I think Mikasa is trying to retreat. Let's see if we can get Colorado a little closer in, but we do need the destroyers to come back and link up with her. Yeah, that torpedo spread apparently against a stationary battleship was a bust. So if the destroyers can't finish her off with guns and set some fires, and then that's actually troublesome. Well, we'll see if we can get... How fast is the Mikasa? Mikasa is doing 18 knots, so I think Colorado actually has a chance to close the distance there. The question is, do I want to? Because Colorado is not particularly fast, and there is a lot of enemy torpedo firepower out there still. But I would be interested to sink both battleships. Both of them are heavily damaged. But this is very risky with Colorado. I think I am going to disengage with Colorado as well. Oh, we managed a torpedo hit on something at the far distance. Choyo is still up. The destroyers are completely out of torpedo ammunition, and that was too much opposition. Yeah, we'll do a hard turn to starboard, and we'll try to retreat with Colorado as well. Destroyers are going to cover her. And yeah, it looks like the Shoyo is going to survive, and so is the Mikasa, simply because there's too much opposition, and Colorado has landed a couple of good hits, but unless she can make something happen with that last salvo here, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, that was a good penetrating hit, and I think that was it, however. Because there is a lot of... Oh, okay, one of them sunk. I don't know what it was. I think this was something we hit in the... Well, Mikasa is taking on water. Let's straighten out the course on Colorado. Maybe she can get another hit in. Mikasa is taking on water. Destroyers are just struggling to hit Shoyo at this range. Smoke up destroyers. And Mikasa is flooding, so... Well, maybe we can make something happen here after all. I mean, Colorado is a tough ship. It's just that and most of the enemy fleet appears to be... I think Mikasa is almost done for. Colorado is a tough ship, so what if we get Colorado to do a hard turn? And once Mikasa is down, see if she can finish off the Choyo from long range. And the destroyers are going to just screen her from there. Let's see if Mikasa is going to sink. I mean, she has almost no... She's almost underwater. Yes, Mikasa is sinking. Okay, so we'll get Colorado to turn around. And focus on the Choyo, finish her off with the guns, and then we are going to retreat, I think, because I think we've done enough. We've taken some quite significant damage on the Mississippi, and the Fresno is the Phillip and the Fresno are out of fuel. So from here on out, if Colorado can finish off, where is the other battleship? Get Colorado to turn around. There she is. Okay, Colorado targets the stationary. Something has sunken due to fire, which is good. It wasn't the Shoyo. But we'll concentrate all our fire on the remaining Shoyo, and then we will disengage. So let's see if we can get that thing sunk. In the end, the risk of incoming torpedoes for the Colorado was too great, but we have severely damaged the Choyo, we sunk her sister, the Mikasa, and we have taken down 2 of the light cruisers as well with some targeted torpedo attacks. All in all, today, if we're looking at the damage dealt, the Colorado, whose much maligned 16-inch guns have been questioned very frequently, has done the lion's share of damage, followed by Porter, Selfridge and Winslow with their respective torpedo attacks. Mississippi, after taking some severe damage, and I still don't know what exactly that was. She has, what has she taken? I think it was a shell hit actually. So I'm not too happy with the performance there of the Mississippi, but Colorado has held up the flag, and all in all, I would say this has been a victory. We've sunk 1 Japanese battleship and have put another out of action for the cost of 77 crew lost on our side and some damage to the friendly ships. After the victories off the coast of Japan, both battle groups, the Colorado's battle group and the Arizona's battle group, have to return to port to get repairs and refueling enacted, and we'll return to the Philippines for now. The submarines are picketing the lines, and we still have, I believe, yes, we've still got the Idaho and New Mexico out here, who are hunting for another Japanese battle group which has been passing our port at Pago Pago. So that's I'm not sure where exactly they want to go, but we will try to intercept them and see if we can catch them as well. That is a 2 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, heavy cruiser, 9 light cruisers and 4 destroyers. So again, we're severely outnumbered by their light forces, but we might be able to inflict some damage onto them, and we just want to prevent them from getting anywhere close to Pearl Harbor. In fact, we do have the Lexington in Pearl Harbor, so I'm going to start sending the Lexington together with, no, actually just the Lexington. The Lexington South, she's a fast ship, and see if she can join up with the group here and help out against this fleet. But all in all, I'm quite happy with the initial results of our conflict. Our ships have fought well, especially the torpedo forces, and the Empire of Japan is down to 4 battleships, 3 battle cruisers, 6 heavies, 24 light cruisers. These are mostly armored cruisers, and 23 destroyers. So I would say all in all, we're starting to gain the upper hand, and once the threat of their large caliber guns is negated, we can start naval landings in the area, potentially around Formosa, and just have to clear their minefields here, and to see that we can get a second foothold and bring the war to a conclusion and make sure that Japan is no longer a threat to South America and the Pacific.